All right, let's get started with the hobbies and interests section of your resume. Looking at this slide, you can see that employers are seeking something, and when they are looking for that ideal candidates or that ideal prospective employee, they're looking not just for you know how to apply the knowledge that you have hard skills, you have soft skills, you have all the relevant work experience. They also want to see something a little bit extra. They want to know that you are fitting in with your environment around you, your social and cultural environment. So do you have things that you're interested in doing that you'll do even though you don't get paid? Hobbies and interests. What are those? And this will help add value to your resume. Now, every word on your resume has a chance that it will be read. So there's an opportunity for it contributing to the value that you're able to provide to the employer. So make sure you use these words wisely, including the hobbies and interests section. You want to make sure the hobbies are relevant. So if you're doing childcare or maybe nursing, having something like race car driving as a hobby is not going to quite add value to it because it's not that easily understood as relevant. Now, the same thing with the skills section of your resume, the work experience section of your resume. Hobbies and interests need to have its own section, usually at the bottom, the very bottom. Now, as far as what types of topics to include in your hobbies and interest section, you want to be careful with politics and religion. You want to generally exclude those because they have a tendency to be more controversial than not. But if they're relevant to the job, you can include them. So here's how to determine wisely what to add. So again, number one here on this slide is relevant hobbies and interests. And number two, as far as the number of hobbies and interests you want to include, you can do anywhere from 3 to 5. And number three, you can call this section hobbies and interests, or you can call them personal interests, you can call them pastimes. It's up to you, whatever style you're choosing. And number four, like I mentioned a moment ago, you want to include the hobbies and interests section at the very bottom. Now, LinkedIn Online actually has a way you can include this section. It's called interests. And you want to go to view your profile and then add profile section, which is underneath the summary. And you want to go to interests. So select interests and then add whatever relevant interests that you would like to your LinkedIn profile. So here's a sample that we'll go through together so we can help get a little bit more of a sense of what our hobbies and interests section should really look like. So hobbies and interests, that's what we've titled it. Again, you can name it personal interests or you can name it pastimes. And in this example, we have food blogging, including recipes and photography. We have traveling, have been to 20 plus countries on 4 continents. Yoga, participating and running small classes. Now, what these add to the resume is that number one, food blogging, you're putting out your interest to the world. So you're creating value for other people. So this is something that you like to do personally, and it's also has the potential, or it is benefiting other people. And the second one, traveling, you've been to many different countries, 4 different continents. That shows that you have a good perspective on how other people live. So this is culturally well-rounded. And yoga, not only does that potentially add a little bit of cultural well-roundedness, unless yoga already is part of your culture, participating and running small classes, that means you are good at facilitating and you're good at running groups. So working well with people as a potential leader. So this is just your hobbies and interests section. And this is also adding to the potential skill set that you might have or is perceived by the reader, employer, or recruiter. So just to summarize here on this final slide, just some key points to reiterate about how to create a great hobbies and interest section and how to list them well is number one, only include hobbies and interests that add value. If your hobby for some strange reason is counting blades of grass, that's really not that relevant and people would think that is quite strange. Number point two here, personal interests or hobbies you add to your resume should be relevant. So make sure it's not race car driving and then nursing or childcare. Those don't quite fit. It's again, somewhat strange. Number point three here is don't add more than 5 hobbies and interests. So simply just not more than 5. Too many is just too confusing. Add the hobby section at the bottom of your resume. So just more structural elements there. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.